Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna roll some cigarettes while I talk to you here. I've been watching Miss Faye's World. She cracks me up. She was talking about women submitting to a narcissist man. She's like, don't ever submit. No, I agree. She said, well, like in general, don't ever submit to a man. Well, in one respect, if you have a man leading his family with the spirit of God, um submitting to him isn't what it is you're falling under his leadership as the head of the family. Hopefully he's heading it the right way. I mean, traditionally women took care of the children and men took care of the provisions. But, things are a little twisted in our world nowadays. So, as far as submitting to a man, I mean, if a man's of sound judgment, you're going to be of the same mind anyway and come to that agreement. It's like pretty simple. So some of the things that were written in the scriptures are a little bit misconstrued. That's not quite how it's like maybe his final judgment in times of terror or trouble, his better judgment. Maybe you'd want to stay in your house and he's telling you to flee to the mountains or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that in like a danger situation. But then I don't know. But Miss Faye, she's like, just because he's got a wand? And I'm like, oh no, you just did not say that. I'm like, that was so funny. I laughed out loud. you know. Oh, geez. She is a riot. She's a cool lady. So, yeah, she knows what she's talking about, too. You know. She said, too, like with hers, she would go to another room and try and be alone, and pretty soon what she'd hear is knock, knock, knock on her door. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Constant. You can never get away from them. And they want you to have no other friends but them. They can have friends, but you can't. You can't have relatives either. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. So, I'm not going to demean God, my Father, by saying, um, all I have is the Spirit of God, because that's not true. I believe that He has brought me a couple precious friends in my life, maybe more. I might be gathering more um, like minded people, that can't be influenced by any darkness. So, and has no fear of it. If you don't fear what they're saying to you, I mean, right now, I don't even know if my financial future is going to be okay. That's how terrible today is in that respect. But you still heard me just laugh. See, that's kind of who I am. I know, I mean, I'm going to be okay, but it might not be working out for me the way I want. But, or I'm sure I'll get what I need. So I'll just have to leave it there and see what happens. But yeah, because I've been messed over pretty bad um, financially. So we'll just see. Yeah, these Masonic, they're not even mind masters. They're mind fucks. There's nothing masterful about trickery and lies and like she was saying too, Miss Faye's World was saying, Faye, I'll just call her Faye, you'll know who I'm talking about. If I do in the future, or I'll just call her Miss Faye. Just Um, well, anyway, how he'd come home every day in a bad mood. And that is so true. That's just their way. It really is. They have to keep your and see that's why they have to keep your vibration low. So your health's affected. That's what they do. They're for your immune system and illnesses and diseases. That's what they do. That's their even the tone of their voice is a little off in some ways. Their movements, the things they do, even their timing is off in music. It's something a little funky about it. Like they got the rhythm, but they don't quite have the rhythm, you know, something like that. So that's my perspective from what I've seen. So, yeah. It's snowing today. I got up and my knee tried to go backwards on me. It's like, why did you just do that? That sucks. I do have osteoarthritis, so I try to keep my muscles as strong as I can while my bones disintegrate. No, they're not that bad. But you know what I mean. You can do that even without arthritis, but yeah, it's probably not a good thing. you know, I didn't even know, you know. So yeah. See there's like a lining in between your bones and usually your joints are what's affected first in between those two sets of bones, wherever they are. Like here in my knuckle, the little um you know lining that's in between a bone, they disintegrate first a lot of the times. And then the bone is rubbing on the bone, which causes pain, which causes nerve damage and swelling and stabbing, pains all over you that you never know where they're going to come from. So, kind of like people. You just never know. Just when you think you know somebody. No, I think you can test a person's spirit pretty quick, typically, you know. I don't know. I thought I was pretty good at thinking that somebody was actually working on their life as far as spiritually when it wasn't really like that. you know, when somebody thinks they're God, how do you talk about praising the Heavenly Father with them? That's pretty impossible. And if they think they're God, then if you oppose that fact, then you're probably a direct enemy. You know? Then you'd be dealing with an antichrist, at least one of them. There's a lot of them. I don't know. To me, if we don't know that we feel Christ inside of us, um, and that is the divine spirit. I mean, to some of us, it's a spirit in heaven, yes. And that might be our major form of communication. So I can't say who it is exactly, whether you believe in the Father in heaven or the Christ spirit within mankind or however, but I do believe that one person is Christ and one person is the Father and the other person is the there's a mom, a dad, and a baby, and the baby's a bastard. Okay, there. I said, did you know that God calls the oh what is, the Nephilim bastards, the Watchers, the fallen angels? He calls their children bastards. Well, if the somebody that had abilities way over somebody that was powerless and way smaller, and they raped those women. It didn't say they came on to men or anything like that. You know, it was the woman that was attacked. The truth will come out. Personally, Satan will, that one entity, it isn't everybody else that he's using. It's that one, not everybody else in my mind, even though he uses everybody against me, but it is that very one that will pay for what he's done to me personally. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me personally, I'm not sitting still and saying, oh, I'm afraid of anything. You know, that's a motherfucker right there. Oops. Oh, well, at least I'm 8 minutes or what is it, 8 seconds into your video. You can't cuss if you want to ever monetize it. Well, whatever, you know. I don't even know what I'm calling this one. I think this is called ranting on the dark cabal, you know. The ones that think they're so intelligent, you know, and so scary that everybody's gonna cower, you know. Yeah, right. Like people, oh, don't put your address up there and don't say what, shut up. You know, if you're afraid, you be afraid. It's a spiritual war. I don't care what they do physically, and you can think, well, yeah, you would. Well, not as much as what you would think. So, and at that second, yeah, I've been there. It's a personal thing for sure, and you better believe God's there to help you out or not. But you know that's in that you can trust me or not trust me is an individual being giving you 1 second to decide. It's a soul thing right there. It's no waiting, there's no nothing. It's you and him, period, for that moment. So that's how quick. That's why you better be walking in the light. And I don't mean the false light either. You know, it's not a joke. It's like Christ comes like a thief in the night. That's what that is. You know, just like that. Like, oops, you fell, you're dead. That quick. You know, car accident, didn't know it was happening. You know, who are you walking with? You know, better make sure you got a hold of his hand when that shit's going down. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm having sloppy joes tonight with chips and pickled chips. Pickles, kosher pickles with them. Yeah. Slices, I slice it up and put it on the sandwich and actually put the chips on top and smash it together a little bit so it doesn't squirt out. And it's really good like that. So I'll probably have a couple of them. because the buns are pretty big. But yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Like I said, I'm just rolling cigarettes, talking to you while I'm busy. So I thought I could put my blaring light on or put other light on. And I thought the other ones tonight. It's cool. Good enough. I got up early enough to catch calls it Dave's Waffle House or Dave's 420 Waffle House. Used to be um, Planet X Hunter. Well, anyway, he had a live stream. His name's Dave. He had a live stream this morning, and I was able to catch it while it actually came on instead of I wrote on one of his videos a few days ago. Like, I haven't even been able to get up and say hi to anybody anyway. You know, a couple people usually say hi to me. I don't expect to make a ton of brand new friends because that's kind of like a empty thing in a sense, unless, we all get to know each other pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you're getting to know me pretty good. And if you're listening to me, I think I might know you pretty good too. So, or some of you I follow also. That's a possibility. Oh, yeah. Got a little bit of snow today, just lightly all through the day. It was pretty. I heard we have a lot of cold weather coming in, much colder than it has been lately, so that's kind of a bummer, but well, it happens. Yeah, I was going to say something else about narcissists, one of their traits. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I'm going to be watching Quinn Holiday's channel. I always mess up their letters. I always mess up his letters. Anyway, and it could be my dyslexia. It's hard for me to see them the way they are, the way they're written. I don't know why. And I know it's an anagram for something, but there's just certain things that hit me and I can't overcome it like that. I mean, I can, but I can't. Like if I wrote it down in my writing, I'd probably be able to see it more clear if that makes any sense to you. So to me, it looks like the ACDC album. It's ASSE direct or something. So yeah, but yeah, they're gonna try and normalize narcissism where it is right now on the dark triad. Third below, first you have a psychopath, then you have a sociopath, and then you have a narcissist on the personality disorders. And, and then into like schizophrenia or OCD or whatever, and ADD, ADHD, all those, and so on. But they're trying to take it out of the mental illness chart altogether, and especially out of the dark triad of traits. So, and I was going to say something else about their traits too. I'll probably get to it sooner or later here. So, yeah, I'll just think about it a minute. Or not. I'm not going to stress on it. It might come to me. But yeah, isn't that a trip? They're going to try and decriminalize, basically, because they are Nephalin. They are the fallen, that bloodline, and they know the witchcraft they practice within their souls. They know that they're carrying a part of Satan's soul within themselves with what they do. It's a decision they make, when they're little. They have the opportunity. You'll see people that are from those bloodlines, like they wanted me to be a dirty bitch and it wouldn't work for them. And they hate me. I was supposed to be like a special bred piece of shit for them to breed more of their fucking clowns. I'm not kidding. They tried to get my children. Well, they can't get me in the situation, so all they could do is try and destroy them. If I would have went been a part of their orders and whatever, it would have been different. But it's not going to be ever. So. And this is made directly at the Dark Cabal. I am not playing. They don't scare me, and Satan himself fears me. So, and he can get liars, and he can get destroyers, and all his shit, and that's all it is shit. So welcome to my nightmare. I'm doing fine. How are you? In your nightmare, in this place called Hell on Earth. Isn't it, though? I mean, how can something so beautiful be so nightmarish unless there was some kind of energy here that didn't belong here, that is killing everything on it? Or at least trying to. But they are destroying a big chunk of it. They'll pay for that shit. That's no joke. No joke. Every innocent child that cried because of them, every homeless man and woman and jobless and all the shit they're doing right now, they're going to pay for all their strides. Every step they take, every move they make, I'll be watching them. I don't even need to hear their shit. I can hear their little brains, the little wheels like mice inside the machine trying to function, trying to run. Run, run, run. You bastards. That does not get adopted into God's family, by the way. So that has its own place to go. All together now. One love. No offense to if you have a pure heart and you don't know that the one love movement and the rest of their bullshit is satanic. That's I'm not mocking you if you actually don't know that. But if you do know that, once again, one love. Is that snotty? Good. Because even in God's family, it's not everybody's the bride, we're the church. And it's not even one love, or like, what do you think you're going home to Father and he's going to sit you on his lap, or like he absorbs you into him, or some funky thing like that. No, you have eternal bodies, and more gifts than we can really perceive right now. But the actualities of what you have now, you will have only better, in a more pure way, more in tune, a more unbreakable machine, a heavenly vessel for yourself, a total temple onto yourself, and relationships, just like God has relationships, and I could go deeper into that, but it's like people are Sometimes it's just going to take a long time for, if ever, that stuff sinks in. Like, what's the truth in biology? All these silly little things. I saw an egg. It's Scientists are now saying that the yolk of the egg causes blood clots. Well, I imagine if you didn't have the white, which is a low fat protein, with the yolk that is high in high fat and a good cholesterol, if you didn't have them together like a well balanced meal, then it wouldn't be good for you. But scientists say, and I did study nutrition for my state when I worked in the school, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. But these scientists, which I ace biology too, so they can keep spouting their bullshit, and they're the ones that are going to end up with heart attacks for their lies. You know, you don't deceive people like that. Well, there was an egg with no yolk in it, and it was cut in half, and it was just, you know, the egg white. Um, so anyway, I passed it around and I said, "Oh, look, a transgender egg or a trans egg, LOL." You know, no yolk, no joke. Oh, no chicks either. Yep, nothing but a bunch of assholes with a magic wand. And the women are like that too. Yeah, they can dress up, have fun. My but, buddy. Yeah, buddy, you too. Have fun. Because, yes, a woman is a gift to a man. And some women do take advantage of that and not understand the self respect that it requires to carry that, to put that crown on your head and actually earn that thing. You know, takes dignity, self respect. That's a fact. You have no clue how hated I've been through the decades with the people that have been around me in my life, because you don't know the depth of my integrity. So, and I'm not talking about all these little ploys that make people look hateful and shit on this planet. Not any of that shit has anything to do with it. Once again, it is all spiritual. So if you're playing games for the Dark Cabal in any extreme in your life, time's getting short for you. And they're hiding the skies. That's the sky clock. And astrologers will know, astronomers, so, or astrology astronomers, which used to be the same thing, watching the zodiac in the sky and knowing the time of the year because of it. No matter in what culture, and yeah, they change things here and there and whatever, but God's got a sky clock, and people know it instinctively. We can still feel it. Oh, they're hiding it. It doesn't matter. We can sense it. It's like the spirit of God. You can feel him closer, can't you? Well, like I told Doug, they're trying to make it so God can't come, and I said, well, it's too late. He's already here. Because when you have 2/3 of the equation in agreement, that trumps that 1/3 anyway. And that's technically when it boils down to the three entities involved, all that really matters. And the bastard knows that. It's called checkmate. Yeah, check your mate. See, like, I know, like I told Doug the other night, I know you're being run by a bitch, and she listens to your shit too. Fuck you, people. Fuck you both. You know. So whatever, and that's the way it is. So yeah, his other half of the bad cabal, like there's God's Trinity, there's a not so nice Trinity too. That's a fact. Copycat. The copycat called Satan that can't do anything on his own but destroy. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I think I pretty much said what was on my mind. So, yeah, you want to hear a good video of Miss Faye's world. That narcissist doesn't care if he loses you, or you know, if she, because they really don't. It's always a barter system with these people on a daily basis. It's what's love got to do with it, but a secondhand emotion, you know. So, anyway, everybody, I love you all. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.